My name is Megan Wright, and I was born and raised in Texas, and pretty much love anything about Texas, and I love all the Texas teams, but I guess I have a real fondness for baseball, and maybe one reason is because I used to go to my granddaddy's house and watch baseball on TV with him. We did not have a television, and he did, and he would be watching. I can particularly remember the New York Yankees. He would be watching them and see players like Roger Maris and Yogi Berra and Mickey Mantle, and it was, you know, I didn't even think anything about that, but I loved baseball. He put that love of baseball in me. And when the Texas Rangers came to Texas, that was so thrilling to me. I loved going to watch them. It was about 150 miles from where we lived, but we would go watch them. And after we moved away and moved to Tennessee, we were traveling back one time, and it was my son, my youngest son, and me, and we were traveling back to Texas, and I noticed as we went by Arlington Stadium that the Texas Rangers had a home game that night, and they were actually playing the Oakland A's. So I asked a foolish question, and I asked my son if he would like to just stop there and go to the game a little bit later, and of course he said yes. So that's how we got to the game with the Texas Rangers and the Oakland A's, and lo and behold, my favorite player ever, Nolan Ryan, was pitching that night. So it was amazing, and little did I know at the time that my son Heath and I would be part of history, because we were going to witness, and we didn't know it at the time, the only time that Nolan Ryan ever got kicked out of a game. But he did. He got ejected for hitting a player.
Wilson had earlier tripled against Ryan. Nolly says he was yelling profanities and obscenities from third base. One inning later, Kerplunk, Richie Garcia, says, "You're gone." Dickie Thon gets into the middle of this, adds his voice as well in the near.
Nolan Ryan got ejected. He got ejected in like the sixth inning when he hit a player, and the player had been mouthing at him, and he was a younger player, and he had been mouthing at Nolan because he had gotten a hit off of him, and evidently he was cursing and saying some really derogatory things from third base before, and so when he got up to hit the next time, I think he said something like, "Well, that's not a great pitch for a Hall of Famer," but he was also cursing and saying some really bad things. So the next time he got up to bat, Nolan Ryan hit him. And I guess one of the things that is funny to me is that whenever the umpire ejected Nolan Ryan from the game, everybody started booing. And when we came into the stadium, my son and I, they checked my bag, and they wanted to make for sure that we were not carrying anything glass. We had no glass on us or in my bag, and they weren't serving anything in glass from the concession stand yet. When the umpire ejected Nolan Ryan from the game, all kinds of long necks came out of the stands, and they started throwing trash on the field. And I covered my son up. I bent him down and covered his head up to keep him from getting hit with glass bottles that were coming out of the stands. So it took them about 30 minutes to clear the field from all the debris and trash that was thrown, and the fans were not happy about it. And later on in the game, Jose Canseco was playing for the A's, and he actually got ejected from the game because he argued with the umpire. I don't think the umpire was happy that day, but anyway, he got ejected, and for just arguing with the umpire over a call. But that was really exciting. And later I would learn, after Nolan Ryan's career was over, that my son and I had witnessed the only game that Nolan Ryan ever got ejected from. However, what most people remember and most people think of when they think of Nolan Ryan hitting someone or being ejected from the game, a lot of people think that he got ejected from the game where he hit Robin Ventura. But actually, that would be the following year, in 1993. I think it was August the 6th or 4th. No, it was maybe the 4th. Anyway, he hit Robin Ventura, and Robin Ventura made the mistake of charging the mound, and as soon as he got on the mound, Nolan Ryan got him in a headlock and proceeded to pound his head. He hit him 6 times in the head, and both dugouts emptied, and it became a brawl out on the field. However, Robin Ventura got ejected from the game, as did his manager later, because he kept arguing and throwing a fit. So both of them got ejected, but Nolan Ryan did not get ejected from that game because the umpire said he never left the mound. He was just defending himself when somebody came at him to hit. Later on, Nolan Ryan would say someone had charged the mound, and it was actually Dave Winfield who had charged the mound in a previous game and on another season. And he said he would never put himself in that vulnerable position again. He wouldn't allow somebody to do that without defending himself. So, you know, the funny thing about that is Robin Ventura was like 26 years old. Nolan Ryan was 46 years old, and that was in 1993. And actually, that was only a month before Nolan Ryan's career ended, because he tore his shoulder. He had an injury and wasn't able to pitch anymore. But anyway, I always think it's funny because you could always say, well, Robin Ventura is the only player who ever got 6 hits off Nolan Ryan, though it probably wasn't the kind of hits that he envisioned or certainly would have ever wanted.